All right, our guests tonight have a feral audio podcast called Dumb People Town. Let's bring out the Sklar brothers.
Thank you. Woo. Oh my God! Hey, Rob, did you get that tiny bottle of table wine we sent over to you?
I did.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
Great.
Somebody ate the tiny loaf of bread that came with it.
Well, chef's choice. Okay.
So let's get through the twin stuff for a second.
I thought we were going to talk about
Cover it finally.
finally, let's crack that. I actually want to talk just briefly about the planet stuff because I always felt like Pluto got the rawest deal of all.
It did.
It's like a planet we think we have job security problems. Like he had that shit was locked down for so long.
That was diorama lockdown.
To
Science fair project.
To then just be like, yep, you're not a planet anymore. To me, feels like the rawest deal ever. Like,
so now
what
is it? It's like my very elegant mother just served us 9
dwarf planets.
My very elegant mother just served us nothing. That's what it wants. If you're Pluto.
I thought I saw some little sniglet about maybe Pluto now it was a planet, then it wasn't a planet, and now it might be. It
was dwarf planet for a while. Then it was on Game of Thrones. And then now...
Wait, is Rich Hall still doing sniglets?
I sniglet... I co-opted the word sniglet to mean a little thing.
A snippet?
Yeah, I don't know. An unresearched thought that entered my head. I thought I saw some little subhead that was almost related to the NASA conference. They found all these little exoplanets.
Yeah.
But then there was also something attached to that, a rider that was also Pluto might be a planet.
Yeah, P.S.
Am I imagining that?
By us, Pluto. But I know. Remember how all those people said Pluto wasn't a planet? It is actually now a planet.
It is again.
No,
No,
how great
I don't
would that
know.
be if that was just
All right.
an attachment on the little
P.S.
thing?
All right, we want to talk about twins?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's fucking get into it.
Bill Paxton. Let's talk about Bill Paxton.
Is it the
just for a minute.
size or is it the distance from the sun? What is the issue?
For twins? I think
I
it's
don't know
the...
what it,
How do you
By the
get
way-
your power?
We have to
asked
stay
about-
equidistant from the sun or one of us dies.
at all. It's a very difficult thing to manage when we're not together. No.
No,
I actually found out about Bill Paxton last week.
what?
Yeah, my phone's got crazy alerts.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
that's cool.
And I had just seen the movie Arrival, so I can actually see into the future now. So that's good.
See, you're trivializing a human being's death.
Hey, I just know I'm never getting LASIK surgery. That's one thing I'll never do. Because he died of complications from
No, really? That's what it is?
LASIK surgery. No,
LASIK?
I made that up. I totally made that up.
Wow.
I thought it was because your glasses are the only way we could tell you from your brother.
Yeah, but really I have no heart and no soul.
I was thinking I might watch A Simple Plan tonight. You guys like A Simple Plan?
So
loved-
good.
holy
So fucking good.
Particularly liked Bill Paxton in that movie. I don't know if I
was
would have liked
great.
it if
He was great, and then Billy Bob Thornton, just nobody. He's got the most powerful, quiet voice in all of movies. He says it so quietly.
You ever
and
see
you're
One False Move with Bill Paxton and
No,
Billy Bob?
No, I have not.
Really good. Really, really good.
it's the simple plan of movies.
No,
trying
but
to
it's
do my Billy Bob Thornton impression.
It's good.
Working hard.
I like mashed potatoes.
What else do you like, Billy Bob? I'm gonna just start showing
Yeah.
you objects.
I
Do you like tiny wine?
like tobogganing.
Okay, what
That goes
about
well
this?
with mashed potatoes. What else?
I don't like being questioned by Canadian interviewers about my band.
What is he looking at? I don't know what Billy Bob is looking at.
I'm focusing.
Just down on the floor.
I have to focus all of my energy into my impersonation lobe.
I love it.
I'm not gonna do a fucking awesome
No.
Billy Bob and then also be like, who wants pizza?
No,
That's right, or
you
make
can't.
eye contact.
Or make eye contact. Yeah, at the very least.
I like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Like,
see, it doesn't work.
No, you went from zero eye contact to the creepiest, I will never look away from you eye contact.
He looked through Jason to me. Like, that's how.
Would you ask Tom Petty about his influences? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see? You've seen that Canadian that clip, right? On YouTube. Yeah,
yes.
Fucking amazing. That's my favorite part. Would you ask Tom Petty about his influences? Yeah. Pause. Yeah.
Of course.
It's one of the first things I'd
you
ask.
Want to know? Yeah. Who you influence? That's the first thing they cover in the Bogdanovich thing. Yeah, it was huge influence by Elvis.
It's a sidebar item on Wikipedia for all musicians.
Right.
If you Wikipedia Prince, it says what his influences are. Billy
what
Bob.
are Prince's influences?
Billy Bob. What are they?
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
Billy Bob, what are Prince's?
Prince's.
I'm sorry, I just.
Prince's influences are.
Oh God. I'm trying to hold it.
Captain EO.
For sure.
That's a good one.
David Bowie.
I feel that. Feel it.
It's a good.
And
you started with Captain EO and then went to David Bowie.
In that
in the order of most influential. Captain EO.
David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Not a close second, but definitely a second.
The Muppets. James Brown.
All right.
All right, twin stuff.
So,
Sorry, we made you jump off the twins.
Twisters
Oh, twin
commercial.
stuff. All right. Well, all right. So
know?
what? So what do you guys do? You have private time? Do you go like at the end of the day? Like, do you go? Okay, after tonight, do you go home? You don't.
Do you
go
live
home
in the same house?
Yeah.
Like if one
Both
of
your
you
wives-
stubs
We just-
their toe, do you the other feel it?
we.
Now come on! Somebody stub this guy's
Hang
toe.
on a second. That is an extraordinarily fair question.
That is a
Yeah.
super valid question, and I don't want to stomp on the validity of that
Thank you.
question.
I don't want to
Thank
stub
you.
my toe on the validity of that question.
I don't stub my nose in the face of that question.
Good.
No, although
Quite simply,
that is bullshit.
Such horseshit.
Although I will say this, recently we were about to go do some shows on the road, and when we have a really early morning flight, we'll call each other in the car as we're driving. We don't live in the same house.
It's like we both have two families. We live on the only kibbutz in LA.
Yeah.
It's a communal living site.
So we're driving. I will call him always, or he'll call me just to make sure that the other one woke up and is coming to the gig. And so he called me, and I couldn't take the call because I had stopped because I had to pee so badly, like uncharacteristically so badly. I had already peed in the morning. I had stopped at a 7-Eleven, which someone told me, dummy, they don't have bathrooms at 7-Eleven. I didn't know that. I went in and got into a fight while I had to pee with the guy. I was like, you have to pee somewhere. Like, I don't know why I got into it with him at that point. Then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to walk outside. It was on Olympic in La Cienega. I went around to somebody's house and on an apartment building and peed on the side of an apartment building because I had no hope. I had no chance. I ran back into my car. I called Randy back, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I saw you were calling. I didn't want you to freak out that I wasn't up for the thing, but I had to pee so badly that I just peed on the side of a building, and you said...
I just peed on the side of a building.
Is that true?
Now, that is true, and that is so fucked up.
That is the most twin thing that's ever happened is that we both drank too much coffee before going to LAX.
And that was creepy.
That almost made us want to stop doing comedy. That moment right there.
But if we looked at your text messages, like are you guys just nonstop checking in with each other? I just wonder, I just brought you out as the Sklar brothers.
Right.
Like I didn't call you Randy and whatever the other one's name is.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Jesus
You've been hanging out with us.
Like you've been called brothers,
right.
you've been booked as the brothers. You're in Burger King commercials as the Sklar brothers. You're brothers. You're so like what? But there's obviously there can't be any because you were born that way. Literally, there is no buildup of resentment or craving for individuality, right?
Unless we find out right now.
Jason is not a planet.
Yeah, no, I've been demoted. Apparently, I don't have a fucking name. Thank you, Billy Bob. No. Well, we have family, like we have separate families and separate lives. And so, like I think the fact that we, even up into that point, but the fact that we now have kids and wives, and we have multiple wives. Bill Paxton, R.I.P.
You guys each have one wife, and then you have a third wife that you share, Cronenberg, like you swap off.
The relief wife.
We each have second families, but it's the same family. And they don't know about it.
I know.
So they think it's just the same person coming in.
That's the third wife. Is she just lives in an apartment with what she thinks is a guy named Elijah Sklar.
Right. Who just comes in.
A man who's not a twin.
Sometimes he has glasses. Sometimes he doesn't. Yeah. He's just super attentive. He's around a lot for her.
But the catch is, one of you falls in love with her.
That's right. I was going to say Thursdays on CBS, but
it's called Hidden Figure.
All right. Well,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so we do have our own lives, and what's crazy is that since we've had our own families and kids and stuff, when we get together and we hang out with you, can I say this? Is this all right?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
When we hang out, thanks, Spencer. We hang out. It's fun. We actually look forward to it because I feel like we enjoy it more now than ever before.
Well,
because
speak for yourself.
Is there a tone you guys have? Like if you're by yourselves, the two of you, and then everybody else is gone. Does it ever get dark? Where you just like you share with each other this kind of like you're like, ugh, that one, or something, or like that you guys are only on each other's sides, and there's like some fucking like weird energy between you where you're like,
I don't think it's a weird energy. I
was going to say yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, maybe we're misinterpreting the energy between us.
Maybe.
I think it's very normal. You think it's weird? Oh, that's strange.
Who the fuck are you?
I don't know. This is Dan. Fuck. No, I think it is. I can describe it like this. I do think it goes beyond the normal sibling relationship. It goes beyond the normal friend relationship. Like, we're past the point where you share things with each other. This is going to sound so bizarre. We are past the point where you share things with each other. And I think because we're twins in some weird way, we allow ourselves to be as hard on the other person as you would be on yourself. So as negative as you would be about yourself, and that to me is an intimacy to like rip on someone who isn't you the way you would basically rip on yourself is so intimate.
But also I would
imagine what every marriage should be.
The upside of that is that you can confide in them in a way that you wouldn't. Like if I had a twin brother and then I found out, like I was like, wait, redhead cheerleaders. I'd call my brother and go, I think it's redhead cheerleaders.
Right.
I think the combination has something to do with athletic socks, and he'd be like, wait, oh yeah.
Me too.
Like that you'd, I don't know, anything like that, where you'd be like, you'd call him up and go like, wait, do you hate beans?
So that's our journey. I think what you're just describing right there is to get to actually, we're so close to each other, we're actually stepped on the other side of each other, facing away from each other. So the key is now over the course of our lives, it's the beginning of a duel. It's literally like it's like, not to get all Hamilton about it, but
the second movie poster from your trilogy.
That's right. It's just that's called
the third
one
is
is
you're
the
facing
turn.
each other again.
Yeah,
but
gunpoint. In between us is a redheaded cheerleader. So socks up.
It's Julianne Moore.
It's Julianne Moore.
It's the dark version of Fabulous Baker Boys.
Right. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So now our thing in life is, I think, to peel it back and actually have the type of relationship that a close siblings would have. That is our work that we have to do.
In other words, kind of examining yourselves for your individuality a little bit, right?
Totally.
Experimenting with you know what? Like actually withholding from each other,
totally,
or
so that there
boundaries?
is
yes, or taking time apart from each other. So when we're not working, we're not doing that stuff. We do spend time with our different friends and family, friends and whatnot. So then when we do come back together, we are actually happy.
I have to wonder if this biologically, psychologically mirrors the stage in a normal individual's life when they would be going through some threshold. That's something that I've never heard about in twin studies. We're always so obsessed with what's the difference between nature and nurture? Let's study these twins.
Right.
But like that idea that twins have that unfettered intimacy and that you guys are experiencing this weird crisscross right now. I wonder if that coincides with the age at which a
person goes through a midlife
would be
crisis
like, wait, who am I?
Right.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I think so for sure.
But I think we experience that more because
Mid-twin crisis.
But I think it's also because we're comedians. We are constantly examining our relationship and who we are and what we're about and what's wrong with us and all that stuff. So,
yeah, we only participated in one twin study ever. We grew up in St. Louis, Washington University, and I don't want to say we fucked this thing up, but like,
I had to go into a room, and
this is no joke. This actually happened. People were studying this.
I had to stare. There was it was just a little machine that would just light up with a red light when in another room, Randy was looking at a picture.
And I'm just looking
across the hall.
Looking at a picture, and I, for no reason, Rob, just rub my temples.
As if to send it to me.
As if to fucking send it through the ether to him. Like, because I was like, that's what you're supposed to do.
And I just had to, when the light came on, draw what popped into my head to see if he could send it across a hallway at WashU. And not only did I not draw even a remotely close shape to anything he was looking at, it was so bad, they shut down the experiment. They lost funding. They lost their grant and their funding because of our results.
What did you draw?
I drew, I remember he was looking at a tree, like a very tall tree, and I drew a star. Nothing like a tree, rounded edges and all that stuff. You were looking at a cow, and I drew a car. You were looking at what? Can you remember what the other ones were?
I can't.
You were. I think.
Why don't you get in my head and find out?
Okay. Let me rub them. But I can't remember. We were so off. It was so off that they couldn't even.
It proved to us that we're like that. I don't believe in that shit. I really don't.
I feel
But being a comedian, weren't you tempted to just keep drawing dicks?
Every car.
He keeps thinking about this.
I don't know. I was only 13.
My brother.
The car had a dick coming out of its
This one's
mouth.
really hairy.
Yeah, it's just.
Not
I'm
me,
sorry.
my brother
Everything.
keeps thinking about dicks. I know he's looking at a cow, but
Cow had 2 dicks, just fucking doing it.